year.
First pitch swinging, line drive, he's done it. John Means has no-hit the Mariners. They go! Brown fakes, dishes, Kyrie going for the 50-piece. Irving has 50!
Pressure from the Steelers. Mayfield in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Who else but T.J. Watt?
First downs on this drive. Heineke, end zone, McLaurin, touchdown!
Torres drives that ball center field, hit deep, going back near the wall. Wilkerson, maybe, nope, goodbye, home run. Get him out of there! Don't throw to him.
I never seen anything like
Put
it.
up four fingers.
I've never seen anything like it.
He is just tearing the Orioles apart.
Jonathan Taylor, goodbye, touchdown, Indy, as he crossed the tape at the goal line. 78 yards.
And here we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Sports Department Podcast. Clark is nice and close to the camera for this one because this division is going to be close. Maybe not that close there, Steve Clark, but I am Stephen Bologna with Stephen Clark, Jesse Norman, and Justin Schmalentovic, and we are here to break down the other West, not the AFC, or not the NFC anymore. We're moving on to the AFC West, which has been a crazy, crazy division with so many big names going, not really leaving, just going. A couple big ones leaving. But nevertheless, it's going to be close. But first off, how you guys doing?
A long time no speak. It's been a while since we've done a podcast. Feels good.
Same close as the last one. But yeah.
About a week since we've done our last football one. So back doing it again. We just happen to all wear the same clothes again, kind of color coordinated. Nice.
It's the magic of pre-recording.
Justin using his TV terms.
Justin just broke the fourth wall.
I know.
Whoa. I'm just excited to talk about the going and comings of the AFC West.
Justin loves the comings.
See, Justin's acting like mellow now, but if we do AFC South, he's going to be like head to the camera screaming.
On the edge of his seat, sweat dripping down his butthole, just ready talking about Matty Ice.
Football, yes. Couldn't have said any better myself.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Justin. What do you got?
Well, I was going to say, since this is coming out a week later after the NFC West, how many games are the Orioles on a win streak for?
Probably on a 4-game losing streak. They have the Rays and the Yankees coming up.
Yeah, we go Tampa, New York, back to Tampa, and then crap after that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll see what the Snorioles can do. The fifth place Orioles, that is. So we're going to go backwards to front here, and Justin's favorite way to do it. And
even mean.
Justin loves it from the back.
Starting off with the team with the lowest odds, I guess highest, Jesse, sorry, I don't want to get yelled at by betting terms.
I want to respect
the Las Vegas Raiders plus 650 odds to win.
Are they really
the AFC West?
Yeah, well, he want to be last.
Broncos country? That's right.
Charger. Yeah.
So the Raiders, they make a big trade getting the main man himself, Devontae Adams, pairing him with his old Fresno. Yeah. The old Fresno State quarterback, Derek Carr, also getting Chandler Jones. Like Justin said, Rock Yassin is also now new in town, so he's going to be CB1 for them. Also got Demarcus Robinson, Jayon Brown, Anthony Averett.
Jayon Brown's a stud, honestly.
He's a stud, yeah.
Biggest name they lost is probably Yannick Ngakoue in the Colts trade. Alec Ingold, too, left, so that's going to hurt them big time. But
they paid Renfro also.
Yes, they did.
Worth it.
I feel like, though, the Raiders are still so far behind on their timetable because they haven't hit on really any major draft picks.
Oh, yeah.
They're not picking up the fifth years on any of the big guys of Abram, Jacobs, and whoever was it? Wasn't it Cleveland Farrell, the third one in that class?
Yes.
The highest taken one.
So the fact that
Henry
you're
Ruggs
literally
too.
And they had to deal with Ruggs.
And they had to have Ruggs situation.
But the fact that you're literally not picking up fifth year on 3 first-round picks that were supposed to be the core of your team of the youth movement, it set them so far back, and that's why they're still probably the worst team in the West still and have the longest odds to win. Devontae Adams was cool. It's great. They had the top receiver. It's we also saw what happened when they traded for Antonio Brown. I get he's not a nutcase like Antonio Brown, but we've seen this before with the Raiders. And it's okay, Derek Carr has some weapons, but it's like there's not much else going on defensively for him that's attractive.
Well, and I know, like,
just Chandler Jones
nobody.
and Max Crosby.
Yeah, but okay, they're secondary and linebacker core. Cool, they have two good edge rushers, but after that, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, their secondary kind of stinks.
Yeah, I mean, like Justin said, I think the missing constantly on first round and second round picks really hurts. I think that obviously goes back to the Gruden thing again that we've talked about. Of Gruden was allowed to pick pretty much the first 2 days, and then after that, Mike Mayock
went to work,
and then Mayock actually, built the roster with those picks.
And now is fired.
I really do. I really do think he deserves another opportunity. Like,
absolutely,
because that was just so.
Who, John Gruden?
No, not part of that team. That's not John Gruden. But no, Mayock made some good choices. He just couldn't use his most valuable picks, and Gruden just kept wasting them. But yeah, if you add like 2 to 3 more top tier prospects on this team, you throw in like a good linebacker and a good corner, you probably look at this team a lot differently.
Oh yeah.
Another thing too about the Raiders that I always struggle with is they always seem to be one of those teams that just always ends up getting hurt. Like, they always seem to just have these injuries that add up, and you don't like to factor that in, but
it's a factor.
I don't think I can just like go without looking at it. Like, I feel like most of their guys are like gonna miss some time. The offensive line is, I would argue, the worst in the division. Their running back room is not good, leaves a ton to be desired. They have really, really good top 3 pass catching options. That Waller is great, Renfro is fantastic, Devontae Adams is great. Besides that, they don't really have a lot of anything else that I like about their offense. Their offensive line and run game do worry me. And in this division, you really can't have that many flaws when you look at how incredible, like, every team in this division, besides, I would argue, probably the Raiders, is a Super Bowl contender.
That's fair. And the Raiders did something that we thought was never going to happen. They got Josh McDaniels away from the Patriots as their new head coach. Something that
it's happened. It's just a matter of that he signed the contract.
Justin's still salty about it, man.
It's for the better.
We have Frank, baby.
I would rather have
Dude,
Frank
it was like 4 years ago. Just let it go, man.
Yeah, let it go, man.
If Clark made fun of me for holding on to the Astros cheating 4 years ago, you guys can't hold on to the Josh McDaniels.
I'm just saying. I don't because he didn't screw us. We got the better coach probably out of it. It worked out for us.
Guess we'll see.
Take it easy, man.
So Clark plus 650. Good bet. Raiders could win the division or no?
Hell no. Hell, they're the only one that I wouldn't bet
stay
on.
away from it.
The other 3 all have a shot. We'll get to them in a little bit.
Yeah, because they're going to beat the shit out of this team.
Exactly. So
I think the Raiders' best shot is like if another team, especially if one team gets like decimated with injuries. But like they would literally need like 2 teams to probably get pretty beaten up, or like the Chargers to just still not be able to stop a single run. Like that is
I feel like the only true team they can catch would be the Chargers.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And now here's the thing with the Raiders, though. For the Raiders to be the worst team in the division, that's a stacked division. And obviously
they would probably be second best in most divisions, if you move them around.
Yeah.
They could probably win a division or 2.
Also, like, I get that the Raiders, they're definitely number 4 in the division, but I think they rarely like just get blown out. They always give tough games.
No, they stay close. It's just they can't close.
They also go on streaks every year. We win 4, we lose 4.
5, yeah.
They win 3, they lose 2. Like
they're a 500 team.
They can never get
steady.
Well, nobody's
man. Justin hates
team.
the Raiders so
You
much.
like
there's
the
no 500 teams
Orioles.
in football, Justin.
Justin just wants to get this over with so bad. So you know what, Justin? Let's move on. Okay. We're gonna go with the team with the next highest odds, technically, is the Denver Broncos, and we touched on them a little bit before.
Broncos country.
Let's ride. And
Broncos country,
the man who said that, Steve Clark, is their new quarterback, Russell Wilson,
Oh.
welcoming him into town, and Elway finally got his quarterback that he's been searching for so long. They also poached Randy Gregory away from the Cowboys.
Wonder why.
It doesn't matter if it's Colorado. He's still test.
That's kind of funny, actually. Justin's
Again,
also
Big weed guy, Justin.
Justin's top free agent linebacker, Alex Singleton, also to the Broncos.
Justin, do you know who Alex Singleton played for before the?
Did he come from the Saints?
No,
Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Come
He's
on,
a
man.
fucker. He was annoying.
Superstars card in Madden. You don't remember that?
Yeah, come on, Justin.
Come on, Justin.
Not Madden season yet.
Right.
So the Broncos, they get their quarterback. Is this enough to win the division?
Oh yeah,
big.
it's what we've been saying for the last I don't know how many years Drew Lock has been here. If they had a quarterback,
Too
this
long.
team would be division contenders, winning the division possibly, and they got a top quarterback in this league. I mean, we've seen what Russell has done despite the finger injury last year and whatnot. He's been at the top of his game since he's been drafted, and they got their guy. They still have that pretty good defense and a pretty good offense as well. I think this team has a really, really good shot at winning the division. I really do.
I think it definitely evens the playing field with the Chiefs for sure, especially with the departure of Tyreek Hill. I think it definitely does that.
Their pass catchers have to stay healthy. Like Judy can't go down week 3 again.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. They go like 4 or 5 deep. So, like, if they do lose one, I mean, like, they're okay. Hamler can stay.
Doesn't Judy have the off the field stuff though?
I don't think it's anything.
It got cleared.
I think it got cleared. But I'm really interested to see how this defense looks, because I think it's going to look entirely different.
Who's the new coach, by the way?
I know Nathaniel
Hackett, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett is there. I don't know who their defense
because they thought that was going to get Rodgers to the Broncos.
Which, I mean, thinking about it, besides Watson with all of his stuff, is Wilson probably the best quarterback to become available in the past?
Oh yeah,
I would say since Brady moved. But like Brady was only going to Tampa.
Yeah.
I mean, good for them that they got that. They kept waiting and they kept waiting and they kept waiting.
But did they wait?
So eventually, that's what we kind of got to see is that window open now? Is that window open a couple of years from now? Because all their offensive pieces are still really young.
Yeah.
Sutton, Judy, Javonte Williams.
Isn't KJ Hamler still there?
KJ Hamler is also, yeah. I'm trying to think who's their third receiver now.
Isn't Tim Patrick?
Oh,
Patrick, yeah, Tim Patrick.
Yes, they help me too.
But again, all those guys, 25 and under, pretty much for the most part. So that's good, but also this is a team that hasn't won anything in a very long time. So I do think we should probably temper our expectations. I think we did this with the Chargers last year as well, where it was like, oh, it's a Super Bowl or bust thing. They probably need to put it together for a year first. I don't think this is a Super Bowl team this year because there is so much of an overhaul that needs to be going on with that organization.
So their secondary or their defensive coordinator is
good luck, Justin.
Ibero. Yeah, just looking at that one.
Where's he from?
He came from the Rams primarily. He was the safeties coach for a few years, then he was the secondary and passing game coordinator last year.
Okay, I don't mind that. I like that. Rams had a good secondary. He worked under Brandon Staley. Staley's a good coach.
It also helps that the Broncos just hit on Surtain, who's like a top 10 corner in the league
Oh,
already.
yeah. Literally just fell into their laps like
that's
lockdown corner.
Great for them. They also signed Billy Turner, who was a solid right tackle for the Packers for a couple of years. So
yeah, I mean, well, in that line, I believe, Justin, do you have the coaching staff in front of you?
No.
The assistant offensive line coach.
Is the offensive line legitimately? Is the offensive line coach still Munchak? Because if it's Mike Munchak, like that's
I
a top
literally
10.
just pulled that out of my ass. I didn't think he was still there.
Well, no, dude, like legitimately, if Mike Munchak is the offensive line coach, that's a top 10 line.
Oh, look.
The offensive line
man.
coaching
I'll
is
find
so important.
It is Mike Munchak, Jesse.
It is okay. Top 10 line. I'm
Oh,
being so legit. That is oh God, I miss him on the Steelers, dude. When he was the Steelers offensive line coach, legitimate top 10 offensive line every year.
Never mind.
Then he left
Fake
to
news,
go
man.
home because he wants to be around his grandkids and stuff in Colorado. So all of a sudden their line.
Munchak was let go with Hackett coming into town.
Big news.
And Butch Barry is the new O-line coach.
Butch
coming
Barry.
coming from
Barry.
Jesse, what's your
You're
take?
telling me you got rid of Mike Munchak?
Jesse, your take? Condoleezza Rice is part of the ownership group.
Is she?
Yes.
Wow.
Maybe Mike went back to Acrisure Stadium.
Is that how you
Yeah.
say it?
Acrisure? I don't know.
The house that Ben built. That's what we're going to call it from now on.
The house that Mitch
Dude, when I was a kid, I
Burns
thought
the
Heinz
hotel.
Field was because of Heinz Ward. Legitimately. Thought it was
That's
his
true.
field.
that would be
Ah.
deep.
Oh,
So,
man.
Jesse, if Justin gave you $100 right now to bet
Wouldn't be the
on
first one.
on the Broncos to win the division, do you think they would win it?
Does Justin give me the $100 if I don't bet it? Because I mean, yeah,
Yes.
I'll bet it on it if
Yeah.
Justin's just giving me the 100.
Yes.
I would probably bet on any of these teams to win the division besides the Raiders, honestly. The Broncos do worry me a little bit, though, just off of, again, I do think they kind of need a year to put all of this together because you are going from a team like this isn't a team that made the playoffs and now they're adding Wilson and he's going to take them further. This is a team that's been bad. And I know it's easy for us to be like, oh man, if only they had a quarterback. Well, but now these receivers all need to they don't have that excuse anymore of they need a quarterback. They need to produce and they need to produce kind of right of way.
Yeah, well, they've got the veteran quarterback to be able to take them all the way. Probably the highest the quarterback that most teams wanted. So we'll see if the Broncos can make a run here. Now, next team's odds to win it is Clark's favorite team, the LA Chargers. And
Let's go, baby.
I'm sure his MVP prediction again.
I'm sticking with the ear too. I am. I really am.
Herbert leading the charge. A team that got a lot better. J.C. Jackson from the Patriots traded for Khalil Mack. They got Gerald Everett, Sebastian Joseph Day. They re-signed Mike Williams, and they lost Uchenna and Wasu and Kaiser White. So nothing too crazy. This is a team, another one on the rise. They drafted Zion Johnson to play up front. Is this the year they finally make the playoffs?
Not even just make the playoffs. This is your division winner right here.
Oh, baby.
You're calling the division.
I'm calling the division right now. Yeah, the other teams are good, but man, they just made the right moves this season and they just filled all the holes they needed to fill.
Mm-hmm.
I love filling the holes.
So does Justin.
Justin likes his own hole filled. But
I see why Justin's miserable because he can't be on his phone during this. That's the reason. That's why he's so miserable.
Can just look down. This
my computer restarted, so I'm on the computer.
On the hub?
He's updating.
No, they made all the right moves here. I still have faith in Herbert to lead this team to the playoffs and get that MVP trophy, hopefully. It looked like he was gonna do it after week 1 last year, and then I like this team. I just really like the moves. I really like the Khalil Mack. I love the J.C. Jackson. Their defense is insane. Offense might be the problem still a little bit, here and there's still the inexperience of Herbert, but I trust them and I like this team.
Yeah, the defense, they definitely got better, a whole hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
It's really, is Brandon Staley going to coach them out of games again? Is he going to be too aggressive? Is he going to make the wrong call when it matters most? Is really my biggest question for him.
Yeah.
My biggest question is going to be just literally, can they stop the run? That was the only thing that was wrong with this team last year. but
they
were
got Kenneth Murray, Jesse. Yes, they can.
but they were the worst at it. Like they were legitimately the worst rush defense you could possibly see. So and it's so weird too because they had Linval Joseph, like they had run space eaters. They just literally couldn't stop the run. So I imagine they'll have to be better at it. They know they have to be better at it. Everybody's
They have
been
too much
saying
talent to not be better at it.
Khalil's coming off the edge too. I mean,
And if they get another full season,
Sebastian Joseph Day, I would imagine you can.
And also, if Derwin can play, 3/4 of a season again,
anything
at least.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead, Steve.
I would have liked them to get another receiver.
I was literally was about to come out of my mouth. I do not like their third, fourth, and fifth receivers.
Yeah.
I don't. I think Everett is going to pop more than he has before because just sheerly of the offense, but they don't have a number 3 receiver.
Jalen Guyton.
Justin is right. It's like the good old sports stuff days.
You literally you have a top 5 quarterback. I'm going to say top 5 quarterback. I don't care. Herbert is fantastic. He's spectacular. If you watch him, he has so much talent. His arm is insane. He makes every single big throw that he has to. Arm talent wise, he is the only player I put up there with Mahomes he can just make every single throw. And he has Keenan Allen, who is fantastic, but he's also 31. And he has Mike Williams, who is a great deep threat who also drops the ball a lot.
Oh, yes,
the Chargers dropped the most balls in the NFL last year.
His most consistent receivers is running back.
Yeah, and his most consistent receivers is running back is hurt all the time.
That is true.
Yeah, that's his safety net. Is literally Austin Eckler.
They did draft Isaiah Spiller too.
Yes, Isaiah Spiller was a good
draft. That's a good one.
But I love that they're building up the line. I think that's fantastic. But just one more receiver, because I would like Williams to be a 3. I don't think Williams really should be a 2. I think if you push Williams to a 3 and you get a really dominant slot guy, that helps your offense so much.
Yeah, Justin, plus 220
Yes.
Chargers to win the division. You think it's a good bet?
I'm still rolling with the Chiefs, I think, to win it.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I can see the Chargers finally get over the hump. And it's not just this iteration of the Chargers. It's literally been every iteration of the Chargers that we've been constantly aware for, if we're being honest. It's they can never just get over the hump.
No,
The Rivers Chargers, they got to have an AFC Championship games and just never get to the Super Bowl. It's just the team.
I like the Broncos odds better than the Chargers because the Chargers plus 220. I want that kind of at least plus 250, plus 300. I don't think the Chargers have shown us enough to only be plus 220.
I think that's fair. Last year, of course, they were one game away from the playoffs. I mean, they could have made it if they tied, but Brandon Staley had to call a timeout with 20 seconds left.
I know.
But again, the Chargers you're kind of at the point where it's the young excuse doesn't work anymore. It's okay, Herbert was a rookie. Next year will be the year. Second year, they did really good, but they didn't make the playoffs. This
third
year, they
year,
have to make the playoffs this year.
That's it.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have
because then you got to pay them. You're going to have to pay Herbert a lot of money. So
after year 3 is when you need to know what you're doing with your quarterback.
Well, exactly. I mean, he's getting the extent.
No, I know, but I'm just saying their time is running out. It's clear that yes, we are paying him.
Well, and that's why they were able to go and get Khalil Mack and other guys because they're not paying their quarterback right now. So they need to hit this window in the next 2 to 3 years, or bye other really good players.
Getting J.C. Jackson was big for them, though. And they
signed
Bryce
J.C.
Callahan.
Jackson, especially on the contract that they got him on. I thought he was going to get viciously overpaid. I thought he was probably going to get $18 million a year. They got him at 12 to 14. So they got him at a pretty solid number.
Yeah. So speaking of team with a good quarterback, and the last team and the division favorite is the Kansas City Chiefs, which got a little bit worse, you may say. Their star receiver, their star receiver requested his way out to Miami back home, and Tyreek Hill is gone. They signed Juju Smith-Schuster.
Such a weird day.
It was, considering how fast it all moved, how it went from Tyreek Hill wants a trade, 20 minutes later, it's Miami or the Jets. Hour later, it's Miami.
Yeah, it's Miami, yeah. That was one of my first days at work too. And I remember seeing that. And it was weird. Yeah. They got worse. You said it. They got worse.
Juju and Marquez Valdez-Scantling is solid.
But they're not going to match the production though.
No, that's fair.
Maybe both of them combined could maybe be Tyreek, but
it's like what the Braves did. Like when Acuna went down, they built a whole new outfield to combine what Acuna does as a whole. It's like, okay, they try to get two receivers to kind of do what Tyreek Hill does.
And then they won a World Series. yeah, that's why you do it. Exactly.
Jesse.
The Chiefs. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I think the Chiefs are better now without Tyreek.
Yeah, Jesse was never a big Tyreek guy.
It's not that I'm not a big Tyreek guy. It's that the defense has figured out how to break Tyreek, and the Chiefs just kept being like, oh, well, we're just going to keep trying to run him deep. Well, they kept putting two safeties on him and a corner, and then you couldn't hit him, and they didn't want to change their offense.
What receiver did they draft too? Sky Moore. They also got Sky Moore.
Yeah, Sky Moore as well. No, I legitimately like this offense more this year than last year, because who are you? You can't, even if you box and one Kelsey the whole time, put a safety on him, put a linebacker on him, and have somebody shadow over top. Juju at this point is an underrated slot receiver. If he stays healthy, Juju is a top 10 slot receiver. He is really good on drags and unders and the little routes that people need to do to get open. That's what he excels at. Valdez-Scantling is a great deep threat. Sky Moore is good for everything in between. And then you still have Travis Kelce. I think the Chiefs got insanely reliant on Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce every single snap to the point where the backup wide receivers were Tyreek Hill clones. Pringle and Hardman were bad. Legitimately, the Chiefs didn't go out, except for Sammy Watkins, the year that they won the Super Bowl. The Chiefs never went out and got a receiver that was different than Tyreek. They never had a route runner. They never had a go up and get it guy. They just had Tyreek and Tyreek clones, and then Travis Kelce. I think they won their Super Bowl with that formula. That formula was not going to win them another Super Bowl. And getting that many picks for Tyreek, yes, I think you do it. I do it every time personally.
They also did lose Tyrann Mathieu, but easily replaced him with Justin Reed from the Texans. So
might be even better.
I was going to say, I think Reed is better, at least in coverage, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So are we all saying the Chiefs to win the division, or Clark's a Chargers guy?
I'm a Charger.
Charge on.
I want to say the Chargers, but I have a hard time betting against Mahomes and Andy Reid. I really do. They just always seem to figure it out no matter what. So
I think also another thing that, 2 years ago, their line was really bad. Last year, their line was really good. This year, their line is young and just going to keep
solid.
Getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, the oldest guy on there is Tooney.
Orlando Brown, too, I think they need to sign.
Yes.
I know he wants like $25 million a year, so not exactly sure if they're going to get a deal done, but I'm sure they will. They always have the money. But that is the AFC West. Clark rocking with the Chargers. Me, Jesse, and Justin going with the Chiefs to repeat. Clark, where can everyone hear this?
Yeah, man. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Follow the social medias on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at sports.pod. That's sports DEPT pod. All-Star game was fun, wasn't it, guys? It was a fun All-Star game.
Yes.
Pete Alonso won the home run derby again. Wow, 3 years in a row.
The Orioles have won 14 in a row.
Orioles are in first place somehow. The Yankees.
They are now in a playoff.
Yankees lost 15 in a row, and the Orioles have caught up like that. The AL goes through Baltimore now. So we'll be talking sports, wrestling, basketball, football, baseball. Stay tuned for all that fun stuff we'll see in the next episode.